I just always feel like they're hiding something in here.
So you gotta pay attention.
So I gotta pay attention. The time. Does the time mean anything?
Right.
I know, right?
I was looking at that.
1:48.
I was looking at that the first time.
Yeah, there's not really a... They just have time.
There's no date.
There's no date. But I'm gonna write 11:26 a.m. because I'm sure New Rockstar says something.
Right.
And the fact that her pan says naughty, that means I feel like she naughty. Don't trust her.
Right.
I don't trust Agnes. Why don't she have a last name?
Right.
Because she's not a person.
And Pietro. Oh, vampires. So they know vampires are real.
Blade, come on in.
They keep dropping vampires
Where's
in here.
Mahershala? We need him. Look at Pietro.
Pietro knows he's...
Oh, peep that.
I never saw that before.
No.
So, I'm curious. You know how Wanda how we saw that she like froze everything? I wonder if he has that ability too. And so he like is freezing the frame so he can talk to the camera. What is it? Breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
Yeah. But Pietro is not affected by that.
Right.
But when he did that, did everybody else stop moving?
It looked like
It looked like the brother did, but can we see what Wanda and
It looked
Vision
like he
did?
was still... They were still moving, but they're just not paying attention to the fact
Oh.
that he was
Right,
talking.
but Pietro made a
Like,
point to
looked
pay
at him.
attention.
Oh yeah, they're still moving.
Yeah. But he's looking at him like, dude, what are you doing? What's his tattoo?
Mom.
I saw a video. I didn't click on it because I didn't want to spoil anything.
Right.
But it said MOM stands for
Mephisto.
No.
Morning.
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
Right? Right? And she's a mom and I was like, people just be picking up stuff. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better at picking up this stuff.
I'm gonna learn. I find this so interesting that thing is still like glowing red.
Right, that it wasn't just done because she entered in and out.
Right.
That they're keeping it red when
She
before
affected
it was just invisible. Now it's like, no, this is known.
Right.
You can't come in here. Oh, and
Why
then
do they
Kick-Ass, because both Pietros, Evan
play
Peters,
Kick-Ass?
they both were in the movie
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. Yes.
Okay.
So I saw something say that might be Wanda kind of acknowledging that there are other universes and even our real world.
You know how like the last episode Agnes forgot her line, right? I'm curious if Wanda is like, if this is her narrative, or if Mephisto is like switching things, because you know how Herb is like, did you want something different?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe this part of this scene or this story is not her doing.
So wait, is he asking, is that what you wanted? Like, this was the plan for your
You
show?
wanted somebody to come in here to help you out and to distract you from your husband, so you got it. Why are you questioning it?
Right. This is what your plan was to show. I'm doing what you asked me to, what you planned for. Okay.
So is she really in charge of it?
It's confusing. That's why I said I could be swayed either way, that maybe she is doing this.
All by herself.
Yeah, and she has created this Pietro, and it might not be Mephisto. And maybe herself, with his lines that he's saying, that's like her self-conscious telling her that, you doing something crazy good.
Yeah, maybe she's having like this conflict, internal conflict of like, reality, you crazy. But also, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
So we just gonna stay here.
Right. How do they know they're not supposed to go there? So I hate that they've had conversations we can't see.
Right. I want to see all of the episodes of the WandaVision show. When are the reruns coming? How did he do that?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, were they tracking Vision somehow when they had his body originally?
Wait, say
So
that again?
you know what? If
Talk
he
about
was, so he's tracking Vision's body.
Yeah.
Hayward is, yeah.
Hayward's tracking the body, which means that he had some type of tracker on him when
Wanda.
Vision's body was at the facility. Right?
Yeah.
I thought Darcy was just saying that he's tracking the vibranium decay, so maybe vibranium gives off like an emission.
Okay, so he's tracking the vibranium decay. So he's always been able to do that. So when Vision's body was missing, he knew where Vision was
He knew
the
exactly
entire
where Vision
time
was.
and did nothing. Could have had a perimeter set up around that. Did absolutely nothing. He knew this mofo is involved.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He did this. It's a, what am I trying to say? There's like an undercover secret mission.
Y'all, Hayward is Mephisto.
Oh!
I think it's
Say it. Write it down.
Hayward
Make
is
it
Mephisto.
prediction.
Hayward is Mephisto. I'm calling it now. You're welcome.
What's also my
Solved
thought
here.
too was that we've seen trailer of Wanda laid up what looks like could possibly be a lab, and I feel that he helped her create this, or he created this and she ran with it,
Right.
and he's lost control.
Because
Let's run with the idea that he's Mephisto, right? Like, what if he created this town and put Wanda in there as a way to, like, suck out her power or to, like, steal her power?
Yeah.
Y'all just got us jumping around.
He's involved. If he's not Mephisto, he is involved.
He's involved in some
somehow.
kind of way.
I feel like it has something. If he's not Mephisto, I feel like it has something to do with, like, maybe because he's not the official director, like he's doing some undercover stuff, either trying to prove a point or to, like, rebel.
Right. And then I'm gonna bring up the scrolls again. There are good scrolls, but there may be bad scrolls, and he might be a scroll. He might have taken over Hayward. Hayward may have actually blipped, and Hayward's taken over his body, and he may have killed the actual Hayward. I don't know. That might be a little too far, but
It's still a working theory.
Something's off with this guy for sure.
I just thought of something.
And then I was like, what if he's Ralph?
No.
I don't know. He's somebody. He's not a good guy.
And, like, Agnes is undercover. Like, she's a people. They're all people. But, like, she's not associated with the town, right?
Right.
Well, I feel like we
She's a
had
plant.
that understanding. Like, she's not associated with the town. So, like, what if she and Hayward are in cahoots?
Y'all, where is Dottie? We still haven't seen Dottie. There's something up with Agnes and Dottie because we did not get information about them on that wall.
True.
And it seems like Agnes is a little scared
Right.
of Dottie. But she's been gone.
She's been gone. We have not
Dottie
seen
either.
Dottie in a long time.
Not
Dottie
since
might be Mephisto.
Episode 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Wanda had the kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what his plan is here. He works for S.W.O.R.D. S.W.O.R.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. Supposedly. They're supposed to work together with these superpowered humans or beings, and he's all aggressive about her defending Wanda.
Right.
I'm like, but you guys are supposed
That's
to
part
kind
of
of
your
protect
job too,
them.
right?
Yeah. So, what's your deal? It's not that
Right, and the fact that what Monica said, he has no concern over what happens. He's been trying to kill Wanda. She's told you Wanda has all these people under control. You don't know what happened to them if they kill her.
Yeah.
And he's not concerned.
No. But he's supposed
Yeah,
to
'cause,
be
like,
protecting her.
What if she comes out again, or like when she was out that last time? Like if she came out and they would have actually been able to kill her, what would have happened to the people in the town? Would they just be stuck there?
Right.
Because it doesn't.
There's no guarantee that wall would have came down.
Because
they
I
could have
don't
been
think
stuck.
that she created that.
No.
Yeah.
So then people would just be stuck in there. You can't get in, you can't come out, whatever. Hayward, we don't like you, and we never will. Maybe he does have some kind of tracking something in vision, because I'm trying to figure out how he can tell that there are other people around him, unless he put them in there too.
Right.
And they all got tracking devices. They put something in the water.
This is Sims.
They for sure, 100%. They need
Like,
a little thing.
They did something to Vision too when his body. Maybe they were trying to upload him, bring him back, and they couldn't figure it out. And they were taking apart his body. They wanted to use the Vision for their own.
Maybe
I think so.
Like some of him is in the cloud, and that's how he's able to track and see as much as he can see.
And why did
I just
she
find
need
it
to make it that big?
Weird that she just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, don't trust her.
I don't understand. If all these people around her are frozen, how is she?
Because she's a liar.
Oh, what's this license plate say? Is that an O or was that was that a U?
UAI. We're going to figure this out. Decode.
AI, artificial intelligence.
Uh-huh. O for outside.
Outside artificial intelligence.
B2K.
So we think that's a 1 or an I? I think that's a 1.
I think it's a
This
1.
may be one.
OA. OAI.
Oh,
Away. A2C, B2C. I don't know. It may not actually mean a word. It could be in reference to a comic book edition.
Oh yeah, it could be like
Oh,
They'd be doing stuff I wouldn't know. I'd have to watch somebody else's video to decode that.
All right.
Pause. The only plausible thing I can think of in which she herself could be here is if Wanda herself had been at that exact corner and then left and then she just got stuck. But if she was like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she's there, she can talk to Vision, and none of these other people can talk.
And honestly, she's further like out of the perimeter or whatever. So you would think that she, like, the car wouldn't be running, or whatever.
I think she's faking.
I think she's faking.
Yeah.
I think she's keeping an eye on Vision.
I don't think she's been under Wanda's influence at all this entire time.
No.
She's been playing along for whatever her reasons are.
You know what?
Yeah, we can't trust her.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Throw it out there.
Agnes and Hayward, same person.
Oh.
So when we don't see her, Hayward's out doing something. When we don't see Hayward, she's up being Agnes. So because Hayward's actually working, that's why he's off to the side doing something, and she's kind of in and out.
Oh.
I don't know.
That could
maybe
be interesting.
You know?
Okay. That's an idea.
I don't know what power that is.
Because they do artificial intelligence at S.W.O.R.D. I mean, I don't feel like it's unreasonable to think that he could, like, not necessarily upload his consciousness, but like be a robot essentially.
Right.
And I changed his whole name too. What was it, like, weaponized?
He changed the name.
Yeah. So.
And not necessarily saying that they're robots, but just saying that they're magical beings. That it's one person that's a magical being that's coming in and out.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So when we don't see Hayward, he's Agnes inside. When we do see Hayward, Agnes is just not, because they're the same person.
Right.
And that's why she's stuck like this.
Yes.
Because he's out being a nuisance.
But I'm just trying to remember when they were watching the episodes and he was looking at it too. Did we see Agnes?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then when they were watching it, though, whatever he watched, it may have been a recording. I know she did say, "Well, we're seeing this in real time," but I don't know it. I don't remember if Agnes was on the screen during that time.
Right. That's the only, like, maybe.
Yeah.
To your theory there, but I still like it.
Yeah. Or at least they're connected. I don't know.
They in cahoots.
They in cahoots.
Interesting.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Go ahead.
She asked if he was there to save them. And then asked if she was dead. And tells him that he's...
The order of things is off.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why, unless she has to be working on some other mission plan or something like that. I don't know if she's trying to cause division or like what her plan is. But I'm curious why she would why she would want to point out that he's dead.
What if she's... I don't know. I was going to say maybe like she's...
How can he save them, like you said?
Yeah.
If we all dead,
yeah.
how am I going to save you?
And what if she's, like, testing his knowledge, testing what he knows?
To see, like, what he's aware of.
Yes.
And I'm also just like, if she is involved in creating this, why is she testing him? I don't understand. Like, or...
To see maybe to see his awareness, find out.
Or why isn't she trying to work to bring him back under the spell?
That's true.
Why is she willingly, like, trying to push out information kind of to help his theory that something is off?
Right.
Why isn't she just trying to be like, Bishop, you acting crazy, boy. Come on back home.
Like she was doing in the other episode.
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
So, because, like, even if she, like, at this point, even if she really is awake, like how he woke up his coworker or whatever, shouldn't she have some awareness of the plan?
Yeah.
Or maybe she's under a spell and has like how Bucky is. Like he's brainwashed or whatever. Like maybe that's her deal and Vision woke her up and so she's like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's happening, but I lived in a world where the Avengers existed. Are you one of them? I don't know.
This makes
she's not real.
No.
The reason why she's not real, when he first walked up, her mood was very, what is the word, demure? Like, she was very much talking monotone, had no personality.
She looked as if
then when you put her back under, now she's like, hey, I'm back to being regular Agnes, but you're still at Ellis Avenue.
Right, she shouldn't be able to do that. And then if he's Mephisto, working with Mephisto, why is he trying to have her figure out how it happened?
Yeah.
What's the point?
And see, I was just sitting here thinking, maybe because he's dead, right? In order to like animate him, I feel like she has to give him a personality, or I don't understand how she reanimates these people. But my brain is thinking maybe this is like a good versus evil type situation where he's part of her.
Yes,
and it's like she's talking to herself, but talking to her brother. Does that make sense?
Yes, like, absolutely.
Like she's having conflict within herself, but it's playing out.
I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, and I just couldn't reach there. Yes.
It's like, there's whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was going to add to that, I think that is probably what's happening too, but also she's trying to remember what's happening. So if she's questioning herself and trying to help trigger her memory of because I honestly think she doesn't remember how this all started.
She doesn't remember.
No.
And I think
because she was in such grief when it happened.
Yeah.
That's why I also don't think that she did this. I don't think that she started it, but she's keeping it going.
Yeah.
Right.
I think she may have kept it going. She made it more grander than how it was in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm on. I don't think Pietro is Mephisto or that he's necessarily evil. I think it's like her self-conscious talking to herself. She's reanimated the closest person to her, the person that's known her better than anybody, and he's able to like throw back questions at her and be like, "Hey, this, hey, this, hey, that."
And that's kind of how he knows some stuff that's like, you probably shouldn't. You weren't here to not see children,
right?
So how do you know that there are no children here?
Right. And then back to when she was like, he said, you probably suppressed this. Or she's like, I don't remember that. It's like, well, you're now seeing it from somebody else's point of view. So it would be different to you. I don't think he'll survive outside of this world, though. But maybe.
The way Vision was falling apart.
Yeah.
So maybe this scene disproves the idea that Wanda pulled Monica in. And it's just the pull of the force field. The force.
It's got a lot of power.
Stop.
And if we go with the whole thing of him being her conscience and everything like that, then that's her talking to herself. He can't die.
Down.
He can't die again.
It'll be fine.
She paused. No, the kids are not paused.
Oh, I didn't see if could we see Pietro to see if he was if he paused? So he was over there by the
hay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was on that side by the pumpkin. I don't see him.
There.
I don't see him at all.
I don't see him at all. It's interesting they did not want to show us what Darcy turned into.
I just realized that.
Yeah.
They showed us everything else, did not want us to see what Darcy turned into.
Huh. I want to know what Darcy looks like. And
Yes.
I'm assuming that we're going to be in the 2000s next
episode will be 2000.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, I'm curious what Darcy's going to look like.
I'm still, why wouldn't they didn't want us to see what she turned into.
Right.
It's a surprise.
I hope next episode we get to meet Monica's friend.
I hope
Yes.
so.
See Monica's friend.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself properly.
And then we get to see how far this boundary goes in the daylight.
You know what? This is what I think they're going to do.
Okay, I'm
I
listening.
feel like the next episode is not going to have anything to do with what just happened.
Probably
The
not.
next
Probably
episode
not.
is going to be like from Agnes's childhood or something. Like, it's not going to be what we want.
Yes.
Right.
We're not going to follow the storyline because they got to throw us off. I feel like the scene of Monica in her new truck, the tank thing or whatever, I think that's going to be at the very end.
Probably.
I
wonder if maybe we'll get, if they can maybe even give us a glimpse of what happened in the beginning, like what started
led to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I would
we can
like
get
to see
more
that.
of Hayward's backstory to see what his sneaky behind is
maybe
up
we'll
to.
see like what Hayward was doing leading up to this.
Right.
I would like to see that. I would like to know.
Yeah. I'm still wondering, we've seen that scene where she's in that white room. I'm just wondering, is that a finale thing or is that something we'll see?
And they better not do what y'all said they did with Lost. Like, don't wake up in this.
No, I don't want that.
I will fight.
I don't know.
I still want my life back.
Yeah.
We ain't but up the street. I'll drive down.
Listen.
I honestly don't. I don't think they would do that to us.
They better not. All a dream it.
So I think they pretty much have proven to us though that Vision cannot survive outside of this world she's created.
Correct. I guess my question is, can he not survive because the force field is still there? Because it just seemed like it was pulling him back in.
Yeah.
Not saying that we know that you're dead.
Right.
So you're just going to be dead.
Because he was talking on the outside.
Right.
It wasn't like he
I
was
feel
just like a...
Because he was so close and it was trying to pull him back in. That's why it looked like he died.
And the way that he pulled out, that he got out of there. And it could just be... We could get Vision outside. We just won't get him under whatever Wanda's magic. However she's doing it, he won't be able to be sustained that way.
Right.
So then I'm still in that, like I said, the whole Pietro thing too. I don't know if he'll survive outside of that.
Because they're dead.
Yeah, I'm interested to watch some other breakdown videos to see, because a lot of people were saying, the whole, obviously we know he's the 80s Pietro from X-Men. And I remember watching the new Rockstars, their whole thing about, we had to pull him from there. But they clearly are not trying to say he's from another universe.
No.
Because he has Pietro's memories. And if that's true, then he's not X-Men Pietro.
I also need this timeline of things to get a little bit clearer. How people are recalling things that have happened prior to when they should have knowledge of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I need that cleared up. And I need Agnes.
We need some.
I need some more story on her. I need to know how she was conscious at the end of the street and everybody else was not.
I need to know where Dottie is. Why was she such a big deal early on and now nothing? There was a whole Halloween event and Dottie's nowhere to be found, and she's supposed to be the one that organizes everything
for the children. Yeah.
I guess because they got the children now. She's
maybe.
Like, well, my
We
job
don't
is
need
done.
you.
I don't know.
It's odd.
Might have been like sitting on the side of the street somewhere with
handing
the
out
kids,
candy or
not even
nothing.
just passerby. Like,
that's true. Because it seems like
maybe Hayward is Dottie. I was trying to put it on Agnes. Maybe it's Dottie.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, Dottie didn't have nothing on the wall, so.
She did not. She was not.
I'm curious how Vision is becoming. I don't know if I want to say Vision is becoming more aware, if that's the right thing to say. But just thinking back on the first few episodes, he was totally like in whatever was happening in that town was his reality, and now he has more of a thinking mind. Like, I'm gonna go investigate this because something seems off.
I think it has to do with her changing the time period. He keeps getting smarter and he keeps advancing every decade because that's how our technology has advanced.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He's able to become aware of more things.
Because he became more awake when they had the computers, when we had internet. He could, I don't know if he's tapping in and he's getting more knowledge that's helping him because that's his.
So I'm curious if she ever had control over him. Because he was just living in whatever reality he was presented with, you know what I mean? I'm wondering if she was ever like in his mind. This is what's happening.
I think maybe to a degree, because in this episode, he said he was going to do neighborhood watch, and she's like, "Well, you're not supposed to have done that." So I think to a degree, she may have had some kind of control over him, some kind of leash on him, but now he's
awareness that he can kind of make his own decision. Okay.
Yeah. And I think if we go to the whole idea, how you guys are saying is like he's like a computer, he's like a hard drive. She wrote a script for him, but he's doing his own thing. Your script's outdated, and I've updated, and you're not keeping up with me.
Exactly.
Do they have the internet in this?
Yeah, because they had email.
Right.
In the last
we just don't
in the
see
80s.
them using
we don't
it.
see them using it.
I mean, we
I
know
get what you're
how
saying.
advanced technology is. I'm just curious.
Is it just like a part of their life?
Right. Like how.
Are they utilizing it?
Yeah. Are we gonna see cell phones in the next episode?
That could create a problem.
That will create a problem.
Because
how far out is it gonna go?
I mean, that email kind of started the problem. I mean, it's what made Vision wake up.
They need to intercept that email.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, okay, so the email that Darcy sent to Wu, is Vision gonna get that email and get some more info?
I guess it
Because
just depends
I feel
on
like he
how.
got that first email by accident.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it just depends on because I think, well, he wasn't going through the force field at the same time the email went out, so maybe.
Maybe he just has to be like by a computer or something to intercept.
Yeah,
it,
maybe.
Something, yeah.
Which technically he was because he was near the base.
I'm like, how does the internet work with?
How does the internet work? Full stop.
I was thinking like with like CNBR and like the radio waves and stuff and how things are signals and transmitted and stuff. So I'm like trying to figure out how the wires got crossed for him to get it
in the first place.
In the first place to see how that would happen again.
True.
I'm sorry, I'm not technically savvy. I don't know how things work. I just use it.
Turn it on.
Yeah, you better work when I want you. Yeah.
Do y'all have predictions? How from what we've seen so far, how is this gonna end?
How?
I have no idea.
Shout out to Tyrone who taught us about Blue Marvel.
Yes.
And has been sharing theories in the comments. Thank you.
We appreciate
Keep defending
you for
your
enlightening
client.
us.
Yes.
Because we don't know what we're talking about.
We don't.
Never read the comic books.
Nope.
We're just fans. So Tyrone is very helpful.
Let me know if you agree that Hayward is Dottie or Agnes.
Do you have a prediction for how this is all going to end?
I got nothing. I know who I want to see come in. I know where it's ending. I know we're going to see her with Doctor Strange in another movie.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Right.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I say Vision is going to wake up the whole town and they're going to burn it to the ground. Okay, scratch that. That's not my prediction. I don't know.
I'm just here for the ride at this point.
Honestly.
I have no idea who's controlling what, who's manipulating things completely. I think if we kind of knew how this started, we can maybe start to form prediction of how this is going to end. But at this point, is a matter of trying to figure out who's the puppet master. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think once we see that white room scene, things will get clearer.
Yeah.
We just don't know if that's going to be the next episode or the end. It's like, well, of course things are going to clear up in the end.
Right. Of course.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But
like you said, just here for the ride.
till next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.